A wonderful morning to one and all present here. Myself Zainab Kagdi from Atmiya Green School, Jadeshwar, Bharuch. We are back with English subject for class 6th. So I request you to open up Oxford New Pathways course book. We will begin with our unit number 4, section 2, Return to Air. Okay, before beginning with the lesson, let us know about the author. The author of Return to Air is Philippa Pearce. She is an English author of children's books. Talking about her birth, she was born in village of Great Shelford, Cambridgeshire, brought up near the River Cam at the Mill House. About her education, Pearce School for Girls in Cambridge and went on to Girton College, Cambridge on a scholarship to read English and history. Talking about the lesson, there was a girl who had the fear of diving from any diving board, even from the lowest one, as she had to remove her glasses. People nicknamed her Sausage as she was a bit fat. So here in this lesson, Return to Air, we have one girl who is being called Sausage because she was fat in size. Now this girl had the fear of diving from any diving board, even from the lowest one, as she had to remove her glasses. So she was having spectacles and she was scared of water, so she never dived even from the lowest one. The swimming instructor once, while teaching duck diving, threw a brick into the pond, asking Sausage to bring the brick back. She wasn't confident enough to dive, as she gave the excuse her legs were flapping and wouldn't end up. It's different for ducks, etc. and etc. So here was the problem faced by the girl that she had joined swimming classes, and when swimming instructor had instructed her while teaching duck diving, at that time she used to give excuses because she found it very hard to learn swimming and she also had fear of water. Now, that was the problem with the girl in the lesson. Now let us see what did she do for overcoming her fear. Sausage took a deep breath and dived into the pond with her eyes shut. As she opened her eyes, she realized that the water in the pond wasn't clear enough for everyone to see. The brick had reached the bottom and looked a bit different. She dug into the mud and got hold of the thing and began swimming up in a hurry. Sausage suddenly burst to the surface. She wore her glasses to only find out that the thing was not a brick but a tin can. Well, that didn't matter as she had finally overcome her fear. So, my dear students, in this lesson, you will learn how to overcome the fear. It is not just about swimming or just the fear of water, but if we want to overcome our fear, this lesson will help you how being a girl who was a little fat and had fear of water, how she overcome it and how she learned how to duck dive. Before moving to our lesson, let us have a quick summary. The story revolves around a girl nicknamed Sausage just because she was little fat in size, who couldn't dive from even one smallest diving board. Fearing that she wouldn't succeed as she couldn't clearly see without her glasses on and being slightly fat. So, my dear students, you can understand that her fear was she couldn't see underwater without her glasses. And number two was she was a little fat. Okay, so this made her to, to have the fear of diving even onto the smallest diving board. The swimming coach thrown a brick into the pond and asked her to bring it back. Although Sausage managed to bring back an old tin can, she was extremely glad to conquer her fear and dive deep into the pond. So, this was the story of a girl, Sausage. Now, let us read out the paragraph from your textbook on page number 94. Return to Air, Section 2. Read this story about a young girl and how she overcame her fears. The ponds are very big, so that one end people bathe and at the other end they fish. As you can see in the picture, on one end people are bathing. Yes, you can see that two kids bathing into the pond, and on the other end there is one boy in pink t-shirt. He is fishing. Old chaps with bald heads sit on folding stools and fish with rods and lines. As you can see on the right hand side, the old people with bald heads, they're sitting on a folding stool and they're fishing with rods and lines. And little kids squeeze through the railings and wade out into the water to fish with nets. But the water's much deeper at our end of the ponds, and that's where we bathe. You're not allowed to bathe there unless you can swim, but I have always been able to swim. So here she's saying that where they are bathing, at that the water is very much deeper. Now people say that people shout at that time that you're not allowed to bathe in that area. Why? Because if if you want to do that you need to know swimming. But she was always able to swim. Only I don't dive, not from any diving board. Thank you. I have to take my glasses off to go into the water, and I can't see without them. And I'm just not able to dive even from the lowest diving board. And that's that. And they stopped nagging about it long ago. So here this girl is saying that she knows swimming, she could do it. She is able to swim very nicely. But she doesn't dive. Why? Not even from the diving board. Because because she need to remove her glasses if she want to dive into the water. And without glasses, she is not able to see, and so she's not going to dive, not even from the lowest diving board. And that's that. And people stopped nagging means bothering about it long ago. Nobody now is like telling her that go and learn diving, go and dive from a lowest board, you will overcome your fear. No one is nagging now because everybody knows that she's having this fear. Next paragraph. Then this summer they were all on to me to learn duck diving. Now, what is duck diving, my dear students? Diving nose first, just like a way duck puts its head down and bottom up into the air when diving underwater. As you have seen the duck, they just first dive and they put the nose first and then the rest of the body, and they put the head down and bottom up into the air while diving underwater. This is how duck used to dive, so it is called duck diving. Okay, now in this summer, as we know that in every summer vacation we learn something new, we join new classes. So this summer everybody told her to learn duck diving. You are swimming on the surface of the water, and suddenly you end up yourself just like a duck and dive down deep into the water. And perhaps you swim about a bit underwater and then come up again. I dare say ducks begin doing it soon after they are born. It's different for them. So now she is saying that it is very easy for duck because they start duck diving soon after they are born. So it is very different for them, but for us learning duck diving is bit difficult. Next paragraph. So I was learning to duck dive, to swim down to the bottom of the ponds and pick up a brick they had thrown in and bring it up back again. You practice that in case you have to rescue anyone from drowning. Say they would sunk for the third time and gone to the bottom. Of course, they would be bigger and heavier than a brick, but I suppose you have to begin with bricks and work up gradually to people. So here now she's saying that now she was ready to learn duck dive, to swim down to the bottom of the ponds and pick up a brick they would have thrown in. So here the swimming instructor, what they how they used to teach duck diving, they used to throw the brick into the water, and the student or the learner had to duck dive and bring that brick back. So, and they instructed that why do we learn duck diving? Just because we can rescue anyone from drowning. कोई अगर डूब रहा हो तो हम उसको बचा सकें. That is how it is done. So the instructor instructed her that pick up a brick they have thrown. So you practice that in case you have to rescue anyone from drowning. Say they would sunk for the third time and gone to the bottom. Of course, they would be bigger and heavier than a brick. But I suppose you have to begin with bricks and work up gradually to people. So now she's saying that a brick, if we want to like duck dive and bring the brick back, is easier than bringing the people back, because people are heavier, much heavier and bigger than the brick. But if you want to learn, so you need to begin with bricks and then gradually moving up to people, that by bringing the bricks back you can learn how to bring and rescue the people from drowning. Okay, now the swimming instructor said, Sausage, I'm going to throw the brick in. Sausage was the nickname that my friends had given me. We all know why her friends had given her this name, just because she was a little fat. It was a brick with a bit of old white flannel round it to make it show up underwater. Sausage, I'm going to throw it in, and you go after it. Go after it, sausage, and get it before it reaches the bottom and settles in the mud, or you will never get it, just because that brick will sink inside the mud. So her instructor instructed her, I'm throwing this brick inside the water, and now you have to bring it back. Now this brick is with some bit of old white flannel around it, so that it can be seen underwater also. Now the sausage, the instructor told the sausage to bring it back before it reaches the bottom and settles into the mud. If it settles into the mud, it will be very difficult for her to find and to take it back. So you have to bring it back before it reaches the bottom, or you will never get it. So this is what the instructor instructed her. So we'll study it today till now, till here. Return to air, page number 94. What you need to do is you need to read this one page with correct accent and correct pronunciation, and you can even read further to the rest of the lesson. We'll continue this lesson in our next video.